The next generation of young people won't remember October 7th in the same way. That's true in Israel and in America and broadly in the world. And we need to make sure two things. One, it's not that we don't forget. We need to make sure that the story is told properly so that when the history books write this, they don't write about the victims of Gaza, right? They can't. The history, and it's. I should be a little more precise. There were victims in Gaza, right? It's true. There are civilian casualties in every war that's ever been fought, but the victims were the people of the nation state of Israel. Though that the aggressor was the Iranian regime in the proxy of Hamas, and we need to make sure that the history books reflect that, and that requires each of us every day to talk about it in real time with our children, with our grandchildren, about it in a way that is serious and thoughtful and complete and moral. The next generation of young people.
Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Urcha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and you see on the screen there the devil, and he's doing what the devil does, which is deceive. That's what they do. They are deceivers, slanderers. They just lie. There's nothing that they like doing more than lying. And he's talking about lying about history. He's also touting his superiority because, as the man of the great millstone say, Esau sees no one else's humanity but his own. And he's trying to tell you there were no other victims besides his people, the Amalekites, over there. And, they're just, this is the devil. He's talking about changing history. He's talking about deceiving the world to place themselves up on high in a more morally superior spot in which they are, according to the scriptures, the basest of men. These are the Amalekites right here on the screen, which the Amalekites are a sect of Edom, or a tribe of Edom, the head tribe of Edom, with Edom being the rest of so-called Caucasia. The so-called white people, including these tiny tops, make up Idumea, or Edom. And we are at their end. The Lord is exposing them so much that they're out loud talking about changing history, in which they have already changed history. They've placed themselves at all the best positions and all the most crucial moments within history. That's why you grew up always seeing a quote-unquote white man saving the day or being in rulership, being in power, but they've really just placed themselves there for the most part. They did rule Greece and Rome, the Greco-Roman Empire, but they're not the original Greeks or Romans. Those were the Japhetic people. They put themselves everywhere. Neither keepeth at home, and that even goes to the history they tell. These people have to be stopped. But I'm going to start out here at Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. This history that man was talking about changing, most likely it's not going to be able to be changed because we're at the end of their time of rulership. And the history that's to come is going to be actual truth. And so these liars will be painted as liars. These bloody men will be painted as bloody men. But since the Renaissance, they have been painting themselves as the good guys. It says in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Those people are the wicked. The Edomites are the wicked within the Bible. It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And so they came out in the Renaissance and they started painting over imagery, chipping off noses, chipping off lips on statues, painting over old paintings, or making new ones to make themselves as the people of the Lord, to place themselves as that. And with that, they also covered over judgment and covered over history. But they are the reason that you have quote unquote white Jesus and the Father being quote unquote white, which in the scriptures they are called red, by the way. You have the angels being quote unquote white, and the people. They actually put a people in the land to resemble that. But all of that is not true. Just if they were the true people, there would be no more war. But instead they are the bastard that dwells in Ashdod. But nothing that is secret has been made secret will remain hidden. It's all coming out. Like the fact that those are the Amalekites and not the Israelites. All this stuff is coming out. I'm going to go to Ephesians 2:2. Because it's their media that they have been able to paint these lies. Ephesians 2 and verse 2, wherein in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. I went to that because the prince of the power of the air. The Edomites are the gods of this world, and they have the power of the air. As in the airwaves, when you see people go on live on radio or live on television, there's a sign that flashes red that says on air, because it's radio waves that are being sent out through space and air. And that is one of Esau's biggest weapons. That's why these tiny tots own so much of the media and entertainment industry, because that influences people. And they started out at the Renaissance with their paintings, and then into writings, and then into different doctrines. That's why you have 300 plus denominations of Judeo-Christianity, and then into their movies and their different art and their writings. They are the prince of the power of the air, and that's how they've been able to change history. And as well as just through their talking, because their voice is the one that goes out throughout the earth, and that's who people believe is actually correct. But they're nothing more than liars. They're complete and total liars. I'm going to go to Isaiah 29, because their lies have completely turned the earth upside down. Isaiah 29 and 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? These Edomites have changed everything upside down because they don't want to be the Edomites. And they've touched the Bible, committed blasphemy by changing the images of that, as well as with the name and everything with it. And they've changed other people's, they put the biblical identity onto themselves, calling themselves the Lord's people, taking over his land. And then they've taken the names from all the other nations that actually have biblical roots. These things turn the earth upside down. They also go around pushing Christianity or Judeo-Christianity, but at the same time telling people that the laws are done away with. This turns things upside down. And so we live in a world now where they call what's bad good and what's good bad. This is all done through the Edomites. And they've already changed history, and they're talking about changing more, but we're at their end. They're going to fade away, and the truth of them will be written. And they will have no more might in their hands to do these wicked things. And that's just their pride. They really think that their houses are going to continue forever, but they had a temporary blessing. It's like they can't remember. They have no idea that they have a temporary blessing. Jeremiah 49. Actually, I want to go to Psalms just because we were talking about how they think their houses shall continue forever. Psalm 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. They really think that they get to go on, but they have a temporary blessing, and changing history won't even matter. The Lord's going to put everything back into its proper order. He's bringing truth, and the truth will overcome all of your lies, you dirty Edomites. And they boosted themselves up like they are something, but they are nothing. Now we'll go to Jeremiah 49 and verse 16. It says, Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. A cliff dweller is a Caucasian that holdeth the height of the hill, because they are at the absolute top of the socio-economic they're at the highest rungs of society, basically. But that's about to be turned to the right side, because they are the basest of men. That goes along with their turning of things upside down as well. It says, Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. And because they're so prideful, they've stolen so much, they're in such a wealthy state, they think they're going to continue forever. They don't think that this is going to end. But even them being in that position shows that they are Amalek. Amalek was the first of the nations, and the Lord is about to bring them down. It says that his end shall be that he is no more. The Lord's going to get rid of you because you have done the worst of the worst. You're a blasphemer, and you've touched the apple of the Lord's eye. We're going to end this off at Proverbs 6 and 16. It says, These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. And Edom is called the most proud. When it talks about him in Daniel's 7th chapter, it says, a look more stout than his fellows. These are the most proud of all people, when they're truly the basis of all men. A lying tongue. This devil said he's going to change history, or that they want to change history. That is a lying tongue. And they've lied about everything. The biggest lie being white Jesus. The Lord does not look like that, and that is not his name. You have a lying tongue. Calling yourselves the Lord's people. That is, you're Amalek. You're hated of the Lord. You have a lying tongue, trying to change history that everyone just saw. It's a lying tongue. It says, in hands that shed innocent blood. You came over here and slaughtered the Gadites, who you called Native Americans. That was innocent blood. And it shows you shedding innocent blood throughout the scriptures. But the Lord said, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. This is a false witness that speaketh lies. Slander your own mother's son. You're the slanderer. You are the devil. Which, that's what it goes into. It says, and he that soweth discord among brethren. You've put division between the northern and the southern kingdom. You've put division between Jacob and Jacob, between the Negroes and the Negroes. You put division between the males and the females of the nation of Israel. You do this. These are things that you do. The Lord hates you because of the things that you do, like trying to change history, like your blasphemy, and for touching the earth. You've destroyed the earth, and you've destroyed the Israelites. You have a huge judgment to come, and we all cannot wait. Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.